help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, assessing looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, H-E-L-L, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking out lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in a pen trying to find a way out. Lord, forgive me for my sins, for my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, assessing looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the Most High's the reason. But my heart's bleeding, through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping, during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets, left leaking. Laid out, white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that you're speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold or bend. Cause I heard real folks don't got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord, please have mercy on me, amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwam Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Outside, you in the crib, but the boy outside. I get it on outside, from the dust to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the boy outside. I get it on outside, and that's a definite. Cannonball wrecking shit, excellent. Rhyme Barack and bombing like the president. I remain strong, King Kong argue with the prevalence. I show you exactly what we do, that's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent. Throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids in, shades on, made men. Cause we put in work to stop the earth until it caves in. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we bout to leave the sword and stone. Nigga, we warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride. To let the Hebrew speak, nigga, general highs. And we talking super heavy, nigga, that's a surprise. With all scripture, street talk, word to Captain the Kai. Nigga, we blazing, ripping the mic with all facts. Doing the knowledge to the max till we cracking the pavement. U.P.K, y'all the one West Harlem, nigga. We spring forward and they falling like it's autumn, nigga. Talking to all them niggas born in the mud. If you ain't feeling this, your cord unplugged and that's real. Oh, I get it, cat tie, or they not of our kind. I get the order, then it's handle kind, not the one kind. Without a doubt in my mind, I'm finna stop and recline. Anybody that come against us, they should probably resign. Cause it's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. I hate these niggas throwing shots, but can they take some? Christ says, sell out your garments to get a sword now. I'ma go and sell off these polos to get a 4 pound. Damn sure ain't started the war, but I'ma end it. Cause the spiritual war could turn carnal any minute. I remember riding back in the days, window was tinted. But Salaki, I'm done with that carnal shit, I repented. And they bomb-proof the booth every time I'm about to go in it. You ain't know this shit, I live for this truth and I'ma defend it. And I get my second wind just as soon these niggas get winded. It's a war going on outside, I'm jumping in it. It's a war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside.
Nobody's safe, it's a war out here. If you pussy in the streets, you a whore out here. See me all suited up in my fallout gear. 762, flip your fucking car out here. No burner, I still break your jaw out here. No fear, if you scared, get a motherfucking pit. Or sit up in the church, you a motherfucking bitch. I give you in the verse what I give you in a clip. It's 32 rounds of fire, it never quit. A lot of fuckery going down, so what's the purpose? Sick of hanging around these clowns, get out the circus. If you cross that line, then you get lit up. The worst is all black hearses, tinted with black curtains. Docs on site with medics and mad nurses. Leave us out your verses. You don't want that kind of war, ready for that bullshit. Kinda like a matador. Get this kind of focus, you gon' need some Adderall. Something just to lock you in behind them padded walls. They say I got some screws loose, and that's true too. Don't let me let them wolves through like it's a full moon. It's like I transform the booth to a war room. Come up with a strategy, maximizing your calories. Courage of King David, battling like the Maccabees. Find out who you think that nigga, walk to him casually. Then proceed to bar his life away rapidly. Take a knee for your majesty, take it, they hate it savagely. I try leaving rap alone, but I guess that this had to be. Keep you grounded like gravity, in the ville, but it's amity. Horror, I seen calamity, scar you up for my family. Mumble rappers be mad at me, fuck them up in they faculty. They words sweet, sit in they mouth and causing cavities. Yeah, it's a war, but none of you suckers worry. None of
war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside.
I'm telling you, man. They really ain't gonna believe that I got a baby in my arms while I'm doing this. Little Zahar, man, won't be quiet, but check it out, yo. Playing spades, reminiscing on days before niggas started shooting, we would still catch fades. It's like the world's a lot scarier since crack grenades, and the only thing that we became is rats in the maze. Cause all my brother cares about is trapping in J's. Mine's fucked up from the pills and the haze. Pops said we hard-headed, stuck in our ways. So I've been praying to the Most High that it's just a phase, yup. Hardly surprised and always amazed, especially at what's been getting radio plays. Yo, I wanna be the cataclysm of a cataclysm, bomb atomically and take it back to lyricism. But you know nowadays, it seems like it's forbidden. Anybody in the industry knows they ain't fucking with them, and anyone on sign, they wanna be outshine. So I guess it's just me, myself, and all these empty lines. I never knew that being nice would get you penalized. Once you blowing up, they wanna know your penis size. Hoes all staring, saying you got dreamy eyes. And if you ain't fake, they wanna see you demonized. If they be dropping gems, then this flow is El Dorado. A midnight marauder, young desperado with a bravado. That's a hard act to follow. Make your favorite rapper look like amateurs at the Apollo. Yo, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Me and my vato steady painting pictures like Picasso. Feds trying to clock us like Pablo and Gustavo. Go and tell, straight to the Gestapo. Hola muchacho, yo hablo español. El hombre blanco es el diablo. Now I'm going over heads like a poncho, trying to stack chips with more cheese than some nachos. Why you acting macho? Your whole clique is gato. They ain't want beef, but I'll feel it like a taco. Yo, don't get it twisted like a rasta. Don't be bringing none of that bullshit into mi casa. You ain't seen this much crack since the Contras. Belly of the beast, we all live inside a monster. That's why I be thanking God I'm alive, tapping into different vibes, penning more than a scribe. Every verse an open letter sent to all the tribes. Lost in the ghetto, steady struggling to survive. Yo, the things I seen with a pair of eyes got me out here living in this life desensitized. Part of the reason that I'm hardly if ever surprised. I've heard the screams of brothers and seen mothers that cried. Seen a soul leave a body right before he died. 23 years old, gunned down before his prime. While your favorite rapper only talking dollar signs. But when our people in trouble, they quiet as a mime. Every day is the struggle, I speak it through these lines. That's how I know they can't relate, I speak their daily lives. I'm representing for my nation or the lost tribes. All my people that been locked up ain't see 25. Cause being born a minority was their first crime. They serve and protect, choking your neck, sever your spine. They murder one of us, no guilty verdict when they try. They wonder why they get no respect and we call them swine. Live in a time where you lose your life and become a vine. Friends turn to t-shirts, corners turn to shrines. And if our leader ain't a Pharisee, then he's a scribe. Cause he ain't coming out unless he thinks he can scrape a dime. Get his name in the paper, face in the lime. The world's black and white and you better pick a side. If I wasn't strong enough, then I would break inside. But I found the truth right before I lost my mind. Sorry mama, I promised it wouldn't change me, but I would've went insane had I remained the same me. And I know you feel the same way if they slay me. So when I say the white man is the devil, don't blame me. I'm not here to make friends, kiss babies, shake hands, fuck politics. Yo, what's affecting all the college kids? I mean, why did the students shoot up the colleges? Newborns found in shopping bags and garbages. All these problems that nobody acknowledges. Promise you one thing, you gon' acknowledge this. You know what I mean? Like that.
Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on a life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs custom made to fit. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on 8th Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court. Found the DC school, I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and I started running fast. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I.S.U.P.K until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jam. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Heavy crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Dear God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know.
Alright, Shalom Israel. We the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commander General YAHANNA. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. We was established in 1969. We teach the truth according to the Bible, that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, man. And let's get that clear. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And in this Bible, it refers to Gentiles, you understand, as two different people, right? It's two different Gentiles. Gentiles in the Bible is two different references. So Gentiles can be heathens, or people that are non-Israelites, or Gentiles can be Israelites who take on the customs of the real Gentiles, the heathens, right? So that's what we're gonna get in today about Gentiles. All right. If I could, let me get let's start off at Start me off at Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. So who are the Gentiles in the Bible is the question, man. Who are the Gentiles? You understand? We want to know who are the Gentiles. Like, you know, it's a lot of people think different things about the Gentiles. Like I said, they think that the Gentiles is everybody, or they think the Gentiles is, you know, the so-called white man, or the or non-Israelites, or, you know. So we're gonna make it clear today who the Gentiles are, man. You understand? Of course, this confusion, of course, comes from the Christian church. Right. You understand? Because they lie on God, they lie on Jesus Christ, Yahweh Mashiach. You understand? They lie on the Bible, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? And this is why there's so much confusion in the earth. Nobody knows what the Bible is talking about, who is talking, who is speaking of, so on and so forth. So no sweat. You know what I mean? We're gonna break the lies of the Christian church. We're gonna clear up all of the confusion right now today. Let me get it when you got it. Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6.
Come on, the book of Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel."
Yeah, stand, read it one more time.
Come on, verse 6. And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob."
Of who?
Of Jacob.
The tribes of Jacob. To raise up the tribes of Jacob. All right? So like we said, there's two different Gentiles. There's the Gentiles that are non-Israelites, and then there's Gentiles who are Israelites that follow after non-Israelites. All right? So right now, what the brother just read, it says, this is the prophet Isaiah, right? The prophet Isaiah is talking about what? Raising up the tribes of Jacob. And anytime it talks, and it's anytime, in most cases when it talks about Jacob, it's talking about Israel, because Jacob became Israel. Right. Right? Mardaki, if you could, let me get Genesis chapter 32, verse 28. When it's talking about Jacob, it's talking about Israel, or the Israelites, because Jacob became Israel, right? Jacob became Israel. His name became Israel, just like you. It's a custom that we kept all throughout our generations, and that's why even today in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, when you become a part of the school and you submit to the Lord and His law, statutes, and commandments, and show that diligent, your name too changes. Right. You also get a new name. So Jacob did the same thing. He submitted to the Lord and he became Israel. So when it talks about Jacob, when it talks about Israel, it's talking about the tribes, the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Indians. All right, so we'll read it again.
Come on, book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 6.
Go ahead.
And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob."
To raise up the tribes of Jacob. So like I said, the tribes of Jacob is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, that's God's chosen people. It says it all through the Bible. Those are God's chosen people. That's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And Isaiah is talking to Jacob, it's like Isaiah is talking about raising up those tribes, right? Raising up those tribes. All right, so go ahead and continue.
Come. And to restore the preserved of Israel.
And shall restore the preserved of Israel. All right, restoring our people, you know what I mean? Our people that were in bad conditions, our people that were not following the laws, our people that were destroyed and suffering, like restoring them, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
"I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles."
To the who?
To the Gentiles.
So now it's talking about the tribes of Jacob, all right? Raising up the tribes of Jacob, but it's also saying something about also the Gentiles. So that's showing you that the tribes are not the Gentiles, and the Gentiles are not the tribes. See what I'm saying?
Come.
All right, read it from the top one more time, Baba Kushar.
Come, sir. Book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel.
Go ahead.
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles."
For a light to the Gentiles, right? So what is this talking about? You understand? What is this talking about? Somebody want to take a guess online? Anybody can take a guess online. Let's make it clear that the Christian church teaches salvation for everybody. Right. You understand? Like the Christian church teaches salvation for everybody. The Bible only talks about salvation for the Israelites.
Right.
You understand? So when we talk about the Israelites and Gentiles, you know that he's not talking about Israelites. You understand? Because Israelites were promised salvation, not everybody. So everybody else would be considered Gentiles. You understand? Or heathens. You know what I mean? The heathens, Gentiles, is something that's looked down upon. The Israelites are always looked up to as the royal people or the special people, like it talks about in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Right?
Come.
Read it again, that last part.
Come. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles.
You understand? I will also give thee for a light for the Gentiles. You understand? So what does that mean? You understand? What does that mean?
So like I said, is it saying that the tribes of Israel will be the shining light of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to actually be over the Gentiles, to show them how it's done? It's a lot.
Yeah, that's correct. That's it right there. You understand? Because in the time of Christ comes, when the order is restored in the earth, the Israelites are going to be the authority on the earth. You understand? And all of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High are going to be what all of the Gentiles are going to follow as well. They're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments too. It ain't going to be no pork eating or no dog cooking. It ain't going to be none of that blood drinking and homosexuality and, pork crab. You know what I mean? All of that. It's not going to be none of that.
Right.
It's no same-sex marriage. Go ahead.
Trooper Kazak Shapar said, light to the tribes that went out and away from congregations.
Right. You understand? We didn't get there yet. We didn't get there yet. You understand? Is this scripture right here is distinctively separating Israelites from Gentiles. So this is the scripture to show somebody who's saying that the Gentiles can be saved too. You know what I mean? Because they read, like when it says go to the Gentiles, when it talks about in Paul, when it says Paul said go to the Gentiles, right? They think that means the Gentiles can be saved, but we didn't get there yet. This is an obvious scripture, or a good cut scripture when you're trying to show somebody that the Israelites are not Gentiles.
Right.
You understand? Or the Gentiles are not Israelites. So when the Bible talks about Gentiles, it's not always talking about everybody, you understand? Right. Or heathens, you know what I mean? It's also talking about your people, you know what I mean? Those of your people. But like I said, this is a good scripture. So give me what you got, Mardaki, real quick for learning purposes.
Sure. You said Genesis
32. And 28.
Verse 28. I want to make sure. Genesis chapter 32, verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob. Right. But Israel.
So that name shall not be called Jacob anymore, it'll be called Israel, because you get a new name, right? You get a new name when you come into the truth, when you follow the Lord's law, statutes, commandments, when you submit to the Most High. You understand? Of course, we are the masters according to the flesh in the I.S.U.P.K. So we are the ones to decide if you get a new name or not, if you get a name or not. All right, so that's what happened. Jacob became Israel. Go ahead.
For as a prince hast thou power with God.
As a what?
Power with God.
For as a prince hast thou power with God. And you understand? That's why Israel means what? Prince of the power. You know what I mean? Israel means prince of the power. That's what that's the meaning of the name. You understand? No sweat. So let's go ahead and drop that. Let's get Isaiah 45 and 17. Because when we talk about salvation, right? We talk about salvation, they think that they always include the Gentiles, right? They always say the Gentiles can be saved too. Paul went to the Gentiles too. And they think that, because of that, they mean people who are non-Israelite. And Mardaki, if you could, let me get Gentile in that compact genre. Yeah. Let me get that right quick. All right. And so they think that this means, non-Israelites. Non-Israelites can be saved too. So it's clear that they know that Gentiles are non-Israelites. It's clear that they know that. You understand? That's because and they think that that's only what Gentile means. You understand? They think it only means non-Israelites. But we just read in the scripture just now in Isaiah 49 and 6, where it talks about the tribes of Jacob and the Gentiles. So it's obvious that the Gentiles are not Israelites, right? So now we want to show you what Gentiles really is, and we're going to get into the scriptures, and we're going to show you, all right? So you'll know when it talks about Gentiles being saved, it's not talking about heathens or non-Israelites. Go ahead and let me get what you got, Mardaki.
It's the Compact Zondervan Bible Dictionary, Gentiles.
What?
Usually it means a non-Israelite people.
He said what?
Usually.
What?
Usually.
Usually. So usually it means a what?
A non-Israelite people.
So usually it means a non-Israelite people. That's what it usually means. And to be, for the most part of it, that's exactly what it means. For the most part, a non-Israelite. You understand? But there are cases where Gentiles is used for somebody else. And like we just said, it's talking about people who are Israelites that follow after the traditions, the customs, the heritage of non-Israelites. See what I'm saying? So me, an Israelite, I would be a Gentile because I celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? Or I eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I get tattoos, rock dreads. You know what I mean? All of those things that these other nations do, I would be considered a Gentile like them. You understand? A non-Israelite that's following after heathen customs. You understand? That's what that's the other case where it would be used. So when it talks about Paul going to the Gentiles, it's talking about those Israelites that are in these lands, like we're in America today, and following after the customs of America. Like we're in Mexico, and the Spaniards, you know what I mean, they do, you know what I mean, who are white people, you understand, from Spain, that eat iguanas and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and do all, and the Haitians, following after the French and Portuguese. You got people in South America that were colonized by the Portuguese, right? So we all of these different lands, and because we're in these different lands under these different people who colonized us, we follow after their laws and their heritage and their customs. But for the most part, Shalom, for the most part, we're not Gentiles because we're non-Israelite. We're Gentiles because we follow after these other nations. You understand? Read what you got again, Mardaki.
Gentiles. Usually it means a non-Israelite people. Under conditions of peace and considerate treatment was accorded.
No sweat. Drop it right there. All right. All right. Let me get Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17.
Go ahead.
But Israel shall be saved.
But who shall be saved?
But Israel shall be saved.
The Gentiles shall be saved.
But Israel shall be saved.
Anybody can be saved.
Israel shall be saved.
Israel shall be saved. So why are you trying to say that the Gentiles can be saved too? Why? Because Paul went to the Gentiles, right? That's why they say it. Because Paul went to the Gentiles. They don't know that the Gentiles, and you understand, when it talks about Gentiles being non-Israelites, is not the same as Gentiles who are Israelites that follow after these other nations. So why would Paul go and save somebody that can't be saved? Because right here in Isaiah, again, it says what?
It says, like I said, but Israel shall be saved.
Read it, go ahead.
And the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Go ahead.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded.
Right, meaning we're not going to be, we're not going to be clueless to our heritage and our customs. We're not going to be ashamed to be Israelites and to rock that shield, them fringes, to have that Hebrew name. You understand? That's a totally different tongue from all tongues on the earth, where people commonly speak, where it sounds good to their ears. Our names are going to be something that's bold and has a aggressive spirit on it. You know what I mean? And we're not going to be ashamed of it. We're going to say it loud. We're going to rock our braids, our boots, and everything else, and we're not going to be confounded. That's what it means. Israel shall be saved. That's what we do. That's our customs, our traditions. You understand? As for the other people who are not from Adam, you understand? Who are from Adam, you understand? But who are not the Israelites, they are nothing. They are Gentiles. You understand? They are the ones that the Most High did not save, couldn't be saved, who will be saved. And again, what do they need to be saved from? Right. What do they need to be saved from? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to think about it even like that, what does white society need to be saved from? Right. What do Arabs need to be saved from? They got their own land. They own culture. They own language. They own army, currency, so on and so forth, man. They free and doing whatever they want to do. Going to and fro and living, got their own God. You understand? What do they need to be saved from? Black people the one that needs to be saved.
Right.
Hispanics is the one that need to be saved.
Right.
The Native Indians has been on reservations for hundreds of years in their own land. That's something to be saved from. You understand? No sweat. Drop that. Let me get let's go back to now let's move forward. Let's get let's get Isaiah chapter 28 verse 10. All right? There's a lot of confusion when you think about the Bible because of the Christian church. You know what I mean? They don't know the Bible. They lie on God. Like I said, they lie on the Bible. They lie all the damn time, man. So many lies upon lies. But when we know the truth and we read the Bible and we go from here, we go from there in order to have understanding, because there's everything like Gentiles, for example, right? For the topic's sake. Like Gentiles in some instances can be talking about what? Non-Israelites. But then in other contexts, Gentiles can be talking about Israelites who are understand the heritage or the philosophies of these other nations. So it's context. Just like world, right? Which we see numerous of times in the Bible. Okay. Where you think that when John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world," that it's talking about everybody. Right. But with context, and we go and read it in another place where it says, "Love not the world," one would say, who is a Christian would say the Bible contradicts itself. That's what it would say. That's what they would say. The Bible contradicts itself. Because God said he loved the world. He gave his son. But he also says, love not the world. So that's off. But no, it's not off. Read what you got, Shar.
Come on, Book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10.
Go ahead.
For precept must be upon precept.
Go ahead.
Precept upon precept.
You understand? Precept upon precept. What we're doing today is we're pulling precepts pertaining to Gentiles. Why? So we can better understand what it is to be a Gentile. What Gentiles are. What is a Gentile? How will we know if we don't do what, Rashard?
Precept upon precept.
Go ahead.
Line upon line.
Go ahead.
Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
Right. That's how we're going to be able to know what it is to be a Gentile. We're going to go here and read about the Gentiles. We're going to see what it says about Gentiles in Isaiah. We're going to see what it says about Gentiles in Lamentations. We're going to see what it says about Gentiles in this book and that book. And we're going to be able to compile that information to say, okay, so it seems as if Gentiles is not just one set of people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or it's safe to say what it says in the Zion of the Compact Bible Dictionary is usually means a non-Israelite. See what I'm saying? So it's more often used as a non-Israelite, as a term used for non-Israelites. But there are cases. It is a little bit here or a little bit there, or a precept here or a line there that talks about Gentiles as, being, people that can be saved. You know what I mean? So, so this is how we know, though, by reading precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. We flick through this book. This is not a story book. You know what I'm saying? You don't just open up to page 1 and just start reading all the way to Revelations. No. That's not what this is about. You understand? This is a compilation of different topics and different, views, and you know what I mean? This is like we read in Mark 7:26 where it talks about the woman that came to Christ. Then we read about that same woman in Matthew's, but it's so how can we're reading the same story. One precept here where it says that it was a woman out of, Canaan. But then when we go to Matthew's, it says she was Greek or Syrophoenician.
Right.
So it's a little bit more specific, but it's the same person, same story. Precept upon precept, line upon line, and you won't be confused about who the Gentiles are and who can be saved and who cannot be saved. All right? You had something to say more, Dougie?
But we do have a comment, sir.
Mm-hmm.
If I could read it.
Go ahead.
Erskine Littleton, it says, Christian pastors don't research and look up meaning of words.
Right, they don't. They don't look it up. That's why they think world means the earth or everybody on it. You know what I mean? Mankind or something. You know what I mean? World is an age or society. It's not a one thing. Like, you know, like it's not even something, you know what I mean, that you would count as something physical. Because the world of Israel is the world that we live in as black people. The world of prison is the world that they live in as prisoners. You know what I mean? Jurassic World is the world of dinosaurs. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just the society or the age. You see what I'm saying? So no sweat. But that's correct. What the brother just brought out is correct. They don't look up words, and because of that, they misinterpret the Bible, but they don't care because they get a fat check from grandma every week. You understand? They get a fat check from auntie, sister, cousin, and everybody else. Mama, right. Everybody money. They don't care. You know, they just want you to be there clapping and beating that tambourine, and you happy. Right. That's it. Put that money in that collection pot, and they'll tell you anything. You understand? They'll tell you snakes can talk. No sweat. When the I.S.U.P.K. asks for me in my house, we gonna teach the truth according to the Bible. Right. Under Commander General YAHANNA, man. We gonna teach the truth. We ain't gonna teach you no fictional fairy tale, you know what I mean, that you learn in church and in America about homosexuals and love who you want to love. You can't help it. No, you can help it. You understand? You can help it. No sweat. All right. So drop that if I could. Let me get we got Isaiah. We got we got that. Let's get Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 9. You understand? I love the book of Lamentations, man. You gotta get into that book, Lamentations, man. I got a few favorite books in this Bible, man. Obadiah is definitely one of them, bro. Just the sound of that name, right. Obadiah, like, that's a name. Obadiah. You understand? That's just, Obadiah means servant of the Lord. You understand? Obadiah served the Lord. He talk about the prophecies of Edom. You understand? That's why that book is heavy, man. But no sweat, man. Line upon line, precept upon precept. You understand? You know what I mean? So that's why when we explain Isaiah's prophecies with scriptures in different places, you see what I'm saying? Like we in the book of Isaiah, where we read over here, where it says the Gentiles and the tribes of Jacob. But then in another verse of book chapter in Isaiah, it says what? Israel shall be saved. Right. See what I'm saying? So it shows you in specific. You get to be more specific or compare something. You know what I mean? So when we compare the world, for God so loved the world, and we compare love not the world, now we can intellectually, or you know what I mean, intelligently say that world is not the same thing. There's more than one world. And then you could just go to Hebrews 11:3, right, where it has world with the S at the end. You understand? Which means it's plural. There are more than one world. You know what I mean? All right? No sweat. All right, let's get that Lamentations, boy. Let's get it. You know what I mean? But listen, I cannot bang on the Christian church enough, man. You know what I mean? The Christian church is the house of lies, man. Right. It's the house of lies. Right. Like, the only book on the entire earth, man. The only book on the entire earth to free black people is looked at as a white man's book. Right. Or a book of fairy tales and theology. You understand? Or confusion and contradiction. But instead, it's none of those things. It's not a white man's book. It's not fictional. We can show you in the Bible. Like, I ask people all the time, they be like, oh, well, you know what I mean, that's your beliefs. That's your religion. I ask them, like, is the transatlantic slave trade a religion? Is the transatlantic slave trade a belief? No, it's not a belief. That really happened. It's real. Okay, it's in the Bible. The transatlantic slave trade is in the Bible. The Bible is real. It's not a story. This is real. This is not a belief. This is not a religion. This is real history, right, and prophecies that have come to pass. This is real life. This is not it's not a white man's book. And don't contradict itself. You understand? It's not confusing. Because why? Because we read here a little and there a little, precept upon precept, but also under Commander General YAHANNA and Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, it was given to us to understand the mysteries, man. Right. You understand? So no sweat. Come on. Let's get that Lamentations right quick, man.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 9. her gates are sunken into the ground. He have destroyed and broken her bars.
All right, so it says what again? Read it again.
Salaki. Her gates are sunken into the ground. He have destroyed and broken her bars.
So what does that mean when it says her gates are sunken into the ground? Good night. Sunken into the ground. The Bible is such a poetic book, man. It's such a poetic book. People read this and they read the Bible and it's so literal. They read it so, there are some parts that are literal. Like where it says prepare slaughter for his children. That's literal. You understand? Most High ain't Christ to that. But there are parts where it's metaphoric. You know what I mean? So what is this talking about? It says her gates are sunken into the ground. Go ahead, Trooper.
The gates languish.
So that's a good precept. That's a precept. That's a precept. You know what I mean? And how do we? So what you're doing is you're showing also another scripture where it talks about the gates falling or being weak. But what is it talking about? What are the gates? What are the gates that languish? What are the gates that are sunken into the ground? No sweat.
Israel. It's talking about.
If you don't know right now, you're gonna know in a second. Mardaki about to tell you right now. I thought he wasn't gonna try to answer it. Let y'all brothers get some.
No,
but he.
Actually, Chuba Kazak Shapar said.
Chuba Kazak Shapar, no man.
He said our leaders have gone bad.
Right. Most High Christ. Give a hand to Chuba Kazak. A gate,
And if I could just be a little bit more specific, you know what I'm saying? Because of course there are certain type of leaders, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our oppressors are quote unquote leaders, you know what I'm saying? Of course we want to be a little bit more specific and say our black leaders,
right?
Jesse Jacksons,
right?
Al Sharptons,
right?
You understand? Those leaders have failed us as a nation. You understand? So, but Tribute Kazak Shapar, you understand? You are 100% correct. Our leaders, our preachers, they have definitely gone bad.
That's right, and that's what it's talking about. It's talking about because a gate. I put a gate in front of your house. You put a gate in front of your house to do what? Protect your house. Right. What is the house that we talking about here? The house of Israel. And what are the gates? What are the protection? Our leaders. You understand? I.S.U.P.K is on the front line against homosexuality. I.S.U.P.K is on the front line against molestation. We're on the front lines against drugs and gangs and criminal domestic violence and drug addictions. We're on the front line against abortions. We're on the front line against even holidays. You understand? Because we're the true prophets of the Lord. We're his true disciples in I.S.U.P.K, man. We on the front line. So when everybody mad at us, we really out here doing the work every day, all day, doing the work. You understand? And one day, I ain't going to say one day, but there are people that thank us. You understand? I thank the I.S.U.P.K. Right. You see what I'm saying? But then one day there are going to be people who rejected us that are going to thank us. Because they're going to be revealed to the wickedness of the life that they're living and try to protect. You understand? With the mark in their right hand, right? Right. They're gonna finally see like they were deceived. They were deceived and we were right the whole time. And the time when we told them, we did not stop doing it, talking about it and fighting those battles from then until the time they realized it. Every day we doing this battle. It's brothers and sisters. I came into the truth with like 2013. You know what I mean? Like think about without, you know what I mean, before 2013, what was I, you know what I mean? What was I doing? You know what I mean? Getting high and, you know, gang banging and selling girls and, you know what I mean? And brothers was out here on the corners holding camp. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Blazing, holding lectures and, you know, raising up brothers from the dead while I was oblivious to it. So the work is going to go on. We're doing it. You understand? But our black leaders as a whole, who are Kanye West, you understand, who is out of his damn mind. Right. You see what I'm saying? Out of his damn mind, ain't about to do nothing but just lead black people to the Christian church, which is the slaughterhouse. You understand? Who else? Michael Jordan don't give a damn about black people. All he care about is his Jordans get bought. He would never put his Jordans on sale for black people. Right. You understand? He gonna put money in the prison system. He gonna never open up a school in Chicago for black kids. You know what I mean? Who else? We can go down a list of black people. T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, all your pastors, Farrakhan, your Muslim imams. You understand? They all the same way. They're sunken into the ground. They're here on the earth doing exactly what God told them not to do. They're our leaders, and they're out here doing what God told them not to do, what the Most High told them not to do, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving, eating pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster, doing homosexual things, you understand, being homosexuals, molesting children, like, you know, having sex with men's wives, you understand, committing adultery and fornication. These are all the things our leaders are doing. That's why it's saying that they are sunk into the ground, man. Right. You understand? Go ahead.
So, like, we got a question from Brother Erskine Littleton.
Go ahead.
He said, is it okay to have respect of persons when it comes to Christianity and Israelites and fake Israelite groups, members, or other so-called black leaders?
What do you mean respect the person? I don't understand what he might mean, though, but...
I think what he's trying to add, and of course, Brother Littleton, if you could be a little bit more detailed and, of course, correct me if I'm not wrong on what you're trying to say. What I believe he's trying to say is it okay for us to talk to them in a respectful manner?
Tell me, give me Romans 2:11. Talk to them in a respectful manner?
I mean, that's what I think what angle he's coming from. If you could, brother, just be a little bit more detailed in that question.
I really don't know what he means with that one, but yeah, you said the right thing. Let us get a little bit more information on what you're talking about. But pertaining to respect of a person, this is a precept. Go ahead.
Romans 2.
Nice and loud, huh?
Romans 2, chapter 11.
Go ahead.
For there is no respect for persons with God.
There is what?
There is no respect of persons with God.
So there is no respect of persons with God. Right. So there is no respect of persons with us, with his disciples. We follow the Most High. We follow Christ. Christ followed the Most High. You understand? And the brothers and sisters in the UPK follow their authority, who are the officers and captains and generals. We're not a respecter of persons. We're not going to bite our tongue. If we got to tell a Christian that they are wicked and evil, that they are a monster, we got to tell a sister she's a monster. You understand? We got to tell your damn mama. You know what I mean? You got to tell your mama that she's a sinner because she's eating pork. You know what I mean? You don't have no respect. The truth is going to be said. You understand? We're going to say the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know if that answers his question, but we're going to speak the truth. We're not going to, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know, maybe he might be talking about speaking to them nicely, but what is nice speaking? I don't understand. Right. You know what I mean? It's either lawful or unlawful. You know what I mean? We're against all unlawfulness. You know what I mean? We're against all sin. Go ahead.
Right. You definitely answered it. He did go a little bit more in detail. He just said as far as when it comes to dealing with them and their doctrines, as far as their false doctrines.
Yeah, we're going to bang on them.
Right.
We're going to bang on them. We're going to bang on the Christian church, on Christians. We're going to bang because why? Because that's what we do. What the Most High says, debate your cause. You understand? Debate your cause. He's a man of war, and he's fighting for superiority. Not only for Israelites, but just for the truth itself. You understand? Because we got to fight for all Israel. You understand? So I don't care if you Christian or not. If you a black man, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you're my brother. You understand? Whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, you understand, a gangbanger, a dope dealer, you're my brother. And I'll take your side over anybody's side that is not black, Hispanic, Native Indian. But we're going to fight superiority of the truth as well. Meaning, we're gonna bang. If there's anything against this truth, you're gonna get it. Like, you're gonna get it. You see what Captain Tazariak do to Kemet's all day. Right. You understand? You see what he do to the Egyptologists. What Commander General YAHANNA has done to them forever. You know what I mean? To the Christians. Yeah, we're gonna go and have debates, and we're gonna tell them that you're wicked and you're evil. Why? Because you're the reason why black men are becoming homosexuals. You're the reason why you tell your people, you tell the people that the laws are done away with. You out here, telling women they're queens and now they're whores. You understand? They can't get a finer husband and keep a man because they trying to be men themselves. Yeah, we're gonna bang on Islam too. It's an Arab religion. You know what I mean? It's an Arab religion. So I got homeboys I was raised with. I came into the truth and I had to tell them the truth. And we had a big debate.
Right.
We had a big battle. You know what I mean? We had a big battle. You know what I mean? We couldn't continue to go forward together like that. You understand? I'm in the truth now. I know the truth. You over here, you Islam. You representing the Arabs culture and getting high and eating pork. You understand? Like, from what I understand, that you're not even supposed to eat pork as a Muslim.
Right.
It shows how not effective Islam really is for black people, man. Right. You understand? So we're gonna bang on all of that because at the end of the day, we want to tear down those strongholds, man. You understand? Put an end to those doctrines and those religions. But of course, you have to be an officer to do that. Right. You understand? You cannot be a young man or a woman. You understand? Or a trooper. Right. You have to be an officer or greater. You understand? To do those things. So your job is to tell them who the Israelites are. You can tell them who the Israelites are. Christ died for us. When they want to see more, you send them to the brother in your city, your camp leader. You understand? You send them to your camp leader. If they think what you're saying is a lie, tell them to call you. Tell them, all right, well, so you can prove it. You call them, get them to your camp leader. These brothers in I.S.U.P.K, we'll cut them up. And these officers in here, we'll cut them up. Right. Cut them up to shreds and look at them like as they bleed out. You understand? With these scriptures. You know what I mean? So, like read it one more time out real quick.
Romans 2.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 11, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
For there is no respect of persons with God.
There's no respect of persons with the Most High, man.
Right.
You understand? And just like what is it, Paul? I think it's Paul, maybe Peter, but he said we wrestle not with flesh and blood. Like we're battling. Yes, we are battling, man. We're not battling with your auntie. You're not battling with, your cousins or your homeboy. You're battling not with flesh and blood, but for evil in high places, man. You understand? Evil in high places. So when you have a battle with a Christian, you're battling his doctrine. You're battling their doctrine, and that's absolutely necessary for the restoring of Israel. Go ahead.
Want me to read that scripture, sir?
Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right. It's not. We're not. Like I said, we're not a respecter of person. I don't care if you're black like me. You understand? At this point, when it comes to the truth, I don't care if you're black like me. Right. I don't care if you're my mom or my dad. I don't care if you're my brother or my sister or my father. Why? Because we battle not with flesh and blood. This has nothing to do with me and you. This has something to do with something else. This is totally bigger than us. This is different. Go ahead.
But against principalities.
But against what?
Principalities.
Go ahead.
Against powers.
Against what?
Powers.
See what I'm saying? It's something more. It's something spiritual. It's a spiritual thing. You understand? Powers. Go ahead.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, man. You understand? Talking about Satan.
Right.
Talking about Satan in all his many forms. And all of these religions and their gods and their doctrines. And that's what we're battling. So yes, we're going to battle whoever is of my people or even not my people. We're going to battle. You understand? We're going to battle. That's damn right. We're going to battle. And Most High Christ said that. We're going to battle. We're going to battle. You understand? We're going to debate thy cause and prove all things. You know what I mean? So when we tell them, like, listen, you should stop. I've seen, we'll in the I.S.U.P.K, we got brothers as officers of 50 that would destroy Farrakhan, that would destroy T.D. Jakes and these pastors that so-called theoretical doctrines and doctors. And listen, we'll destroy them, man.
Right.
Destroy them. And we got to do it, because if we don't, they're going to lead more people to the slaughter by telling them that Gentiles can be saved, like we're bringing out today. You understand? Telling them that Gentiles can be saved. Like all my life, I had to share stuff with people that hate me. All my life, I had to be around people that hate me. White society, Arabs, Chinese, getting rich off of me. You know what I mean? Every red cent, talking behind my back, throwing stuff at me, spitting at me, you know what I mean, calling me names. And one thing that I can have to myself, you want to include them in that? No. Not in here, not in the Lord's house. Right. Not in the Israelite school of UPK. Here, this is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The kingdom of heaven is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? That's it. Nobody else. That's it. So you could tell, you go out here and teach your brothers and sisters that everybody can be saved, and what we're going to do in I.S.U.P.K. is we're going to bang on that. We're going to battle against that. We're going to go out and we're going to hold lectures, we're going to hold camps, hold classes, pull out scriptures, break down scriptures, and all of that. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. And you're going to understand by the end of that talk that this brother is not, the Lord is not with him. You understand? He's going to understand that he is a liar. You understand? He doesn't know this Bible like he thought he did or she did. You understand? So absolutely. The brother said anything else? No sweat.
The water, sir.
Most High in Christ. Give the brother a hand. Like we not in here to agree with everybody, or you know what I mean? Like we're not. No. Why do you think we always say we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group? We trying to make sure that everybody knows that we are not the same. You understand? We are not the same. We don't believe the same thing. You're teaching lies. You're against God. You're against my people. You understand? You are cancerous to our people, and that's why we bang on them. That's why we battle them, because we care about our people. You understand? You know, you see what people say, oh, well, homosexuals, as long as they keep that over there. No. Get rid of it altogether. Get rid of homosexuality. Let the white man be a homosexual. Let the Arabs be homosexuals. You understand? You, no matter whether you my brother or not. You understand? Whether you over here or over there. I want you to stop being a homosexual. Because God wants you to stay. Because God doesn't want you to be a homosexual. And guess what? Then I don't have to worry about my son seeing some man walk down the street with a dress on. You understand? No sweat. All right? Everybody understands that. Let's get Lamentations chapter 2, verse 9.
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 9. Her gates are sunk into the ground.
Right, so her gates are sunk into the ground, man. Our gates, her meaning the Israelites, our leaders are sunk into the ground, man. Kanye West is in a sunken place, man. These other leaders, what was his name? What's his name? Basketball player we just were talking about.
Michael Jordan, sir?
No. Dwayne Wade. Sunken into the ground, man. Pharrell sunken into the ground. Look at Will Smith and his son. Boy, good night, bro. That boy is cooked. You understand? That boy is cooked, man. He falling apart, man. His world is tearing him apart, man. That's why we don't want to see our young boys. Our young boys supposed to be young, strong, and bold, and austere, and leading the people. No, but Will, what is his name? Will Jaden Smith. He's not a leader. Right. You know, he's not even a follower. You know what I mean? That he's just out there. You know what I mean? And this is what it means to be sunken into the ground. Like he's sunken into the ground to a low place, like below low. You understand? The underworld. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's just like he's celebrating. He's homosexual, celebrating Christmas. You know, who knows what that boy is doing? Our leaders are destroyed, man. And they're the reason why we're destroyed. And that's why we have to bang on their religions. Bang on everything that God says he's against, we're against. You understand? Go ahead.
He hath destroyed and broken her bars.
Go ahead.
Her king and her princes.
Her what?
Her king and her princes.
Right, because that's like Maradakia said. It's not, to be more specific, it's the leaders. It's T.D. Jakes. It's Al Sharpton. It's Jesse Jackson. It's all of these people who are successors, man. It's Rihanna. You know what I mean? It's Beyonce. It's Jay-Z. Right. That's who it is. It's talking about our princes and kings. Princes and kings just means the talented of our people, the rich of our people, the skillful of our people. You know what I mean? These people are the ones that, you know, have designed these infrastructures and play in these coliseums and, you know, got these TV shows and got $1 million mansions, and they got, you know, they got the white man to the moon and everything. NASA creating all of these phones and technology. They are the ones that are the princes and kings. They're the ones that are the successors of our people. You know what I mean? The successors of our people. What does it say? The princes and the kings. Read it again.
Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles.
Are what?
Are among the Gentiles.
And that's what it says. They are what?
Among the Gentiles.
So there it is. And this, because they are among the Gentiles, means what? What does it mean that they're among, because they're among the Gentiles? What?
I think they try to cater to the Gentiles like in a puppet-like fashion.
Nah, that's absolutely correct. That's it, and that's like what I just said. They getting them to space. They getting them coliseums. They building them $1 million hotels, Trump Towers. They paving their streets and building up their kingdom. While what? While our kingdom, our communities are destroyed. You understand? Our neighborhoods are impoverished. But this is where you come from. You know what I mean? This is why that's where they come from. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And that's what it's prophecy in the Bible. They are among they're among the Gentiles. Our leaders are dancing with the devil. They're in the White House. You know what I mean? They're in the strip club. That's where they at.
Right.
They sleeping with the white man. And that's why, because of that, our people are confused and without knowledge and without support and without help. You know what I mean? But it also means because our kings and our princes are among the Gentiles, this is what we will also call them Gentiles. This is the Gentiles that Paul was trying to save. The people who are among the Israelites who are among the Gentiles. You understand? Who are doing what? Celebrating Christmas and, New Year's, birthdays, so on and so forth, man. Read it from the top, huh?
Come. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 9. Mm-hmm. Her gates are sunk into the ground. Mm-hmm. He hath destroyed her and broken her bars. Mm-hmm. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles.
You understand? And because of these things, man, our communities are full of violence. You understand? Our homes are broken with no families. With no fathers. You know what I mean? Drugs and full of murder and kidnapping, drug addictions, imprisonment. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's going on. This we see every day in our communities, man. Black on black crime, child abortion, whoredom. Women are our women are just monsters. You know what I mean? Monsters. You know what I mean? So, and that's why, because the rich and the wealthy of our people are doing nothing but being, helping the rich and the wealthy. That's it. They've abandoned us, and now they're with the politicians, right? They're like I said, they're in the White House. The sports figures, the entertainers, the politicians, right? You understand? They're not here for the sick and the fatherless and the needy, who are the people that they were before they became rich. You know what I mean? So because of that, our people fell, man. You understand? And we followed them. More importantly, we followed them. We followed them into the Christian church. We followed them like everybody's about to follow Kanye West into the Christian church. Right. You understand? We about to follow Kanye into the Christian church. More kids are going to be molested. More drugs are going to get sold. More young boys are going to become homosexuals. It's going to happen. That's what's in the Christian church. More people are going to be led into Islam and serving Arabs. You understand? Following behind Farrakhan. Following behind Elijah this and Muhammad that. You understand? And Malcolm this. We're going to follow that. And we're going to become criminals. Just like every Arab. Just like every Muslim. You understand? Because that's what it is, a criminal religion. You understand? Why you think brothers become Muslim in jail? It's a perfect place for them to become a Muslim. Because, you know what I mean? It's where all the criminals at. This be criminals. This could be a criminal. Yeah, go ahead.
They go in jail as a Christian and they come out as a Muslim. You notice that too?
Yeah, you're right. That's it. Because being a Muslim makes crime cool. Crime is cool. So you go in Christian committing crime, because Christianity ain't enough to stop you being a criminal. You understand? But you go in and become a Islam, and it's cool to be a criminal. It's like all the criminals is Muslim. You know what I mean? Like you make me feel better that you a criminal and you got this knowledge and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You got all of this knowledge and stuff. What they call it? You on your deen. You on your deen. That's what they say. You on your deen or something like that, man. They know about that up in Philly. There's a lot of Philly. There's a lot of Muslims in Philly, man. You understand? But nonetheless, we go into those religions and follow these princes and kings, right? Our successors are the wealthy and rich of our people, and we end up marrying into other nations. Now we marrying Arabs, we marrying white society, we marrying Chinese people. You know what I mean? We doing all of the things that our oppressors do. You know what I mean? Continue up.
Come. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord.
You understand? It says her prophets find what?
No vision from the Lord.
You know what I mean? Because the prophets of the Lord are not T.D. Jakes. You understand? It's not Farrakhan. It's not Martin Luther King. No, it's Man. That's who it is. It's Jerome. That's in the hood. That's the prophet. You understand? It's Jose. You understand? That sell all the cocaine in the neighborhood. He's the prophet. It's him. He's in jail. The prophets are in jail. They're in the hood. They're in the trap house. And they can't find no vision. Why? Because they don't have the knowledge. They're in the sunken place. They're in the world amongst the heathens. You understand? They don't have the truth. They following after Arabs. They following after white Jesus. They don't have no God. They selling drugs. That's why they don't have no vision. They don't have it. They cannot prophesy. They can't be righteous. It's just, but you come into the I.S.U.P.K, you understand, and be reformed and repent, then that same drug dealer will be that prophet and have those visions and be able to prophesy unto the wind. You understand? And give breath to those dry bones. All right? Because that's where we all came from, right? So that's what we are. And that's why we don't have no vision there. You understand? Because we're under the philosophies of these other nations. You understand? Read that part again, that last part.
Come. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord.
You understand? They don't serve the Lord no more, man. They getting high. That's what they doing. They getting high out of their mind off of cocaine, Molly, weed, and everything else, man. Drop that. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. This is the precept right here the brother just pulled when we talked about the gates are sunken into the ground. All right? The gates are sunken into the ground. So we talking about our black leaders like Martin Luther King was sunken into the ground. That's why we don't have no more black businesses. That's why we only own 1% of business of wealth in America. That's why. Following after Martin Luther King. Following after whoever else, man. That's Malcolm X. You got Muslims on the corner right now telling you the white man is not who he is. You understand? The oppressor on the earth. He's not our oppressor. And they're just the descendants of the oppressor. That's what they're saying today. They're the descendants of the slave master. You understand? So no sweating. They just misguiding our people further. You know what I mean? Read what you got up.
Jeremiah 14:2. Do the morning. And the gates thereof languish.
You understand? Like that's what it is. Like meaning that the biblical ethnic Jews, right? Biblical ethnic Jews who are the so-called black people, right? You understand? So-called Hispanics and Native Indians. We're talking about the Jews of antiquity, like the Jews as a people, the Israelites, right? Are in mourning. Why are we in mourning? Go ahead.
They are blackened to the ground.
No, read it again. They are mourning.
And the gates thereof languish.
That's why, because the gates are sunken into the ground. The gates languish. Languish means weak. Our leaders are weak. They're sunken into the ground. They're celebrating holidays. They're marrying other nations. They're eating pork. They're eating octopus, for God's sake. You understand? They're having same-sex intercourse, sexual intercourse, marriage, same-sex marriage, molesting kids.
That's why. And because of that, our leaders are doing all of those things. What are we going to be doing? Same thing. Getting high, molesting each other, raping one another, committing all kind of lustful deviancies. You understand? All of those things. Like, we're doing all kind of wickedness in the earth because our leaders are weak. And because of that, the people that are over us, our oppressors, kill us by the thousands. You understand? They murder us more. They incarcerate us more. They oppress us more. Read.
They are black into the ground.
You know what I'm saying? It says they are black, man. The Jews are black. Right? Nobody, this, like I said, they mix this book up everywhere you go. They think this is a white man's book.
Right.
You understand? This is a white man's book. The Gentiles can be saved. The laws is done away with. God died for God, Son is Christ to die for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Snakes can talk. You know what I mean? Hashanana Bota. She coming in a Honda.
Right.
Hashanana Mana. Like, how do you know they do it in the Christian church? Hashanana Mota. That's what they teaching in there. You know what I mean? But the Bible is teaching us that the Jews is black. The Bible is teaching us that our leaders are weak, and because of that, we mourn. We in the ghettos. 2 million black men in jail. You know what I mean? 99 million Negroes dying in the transatlantic slave trade. You know what I mean? What else? 77 Native Indians slaughtered in the Trail of Tears. You know what I mean? Hispanics, look at the hell that they getting today. The Mexicans. Puerto Ricans is disowned. You know what I mean? Haitians is piss poor. Hondurans piss poor. Like, you know what I mean? They all trying to come to America, and they come to America and getting rewarded with jail. With you know, what's some things called? Holding cells, whatever they call them, they put immigrants in. Ain't nothing but jail. Detention, something, you know what I mean? You understand? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And it says that we are black, man. We mourning. This is the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. When it's talking about Gentiles, it's not talking about them, man. It's not talking about us or everybody. Let me get Hosea chapter 8, verse 8. Hosea chapter 8, verse 8, man. You understand? And do not get it twisted, man. While we over here suffering and dying and mourning because our leaders being weak, the Chinese, they prospering.
Right.
The Koreans, they're prospering. The Arabs, the Africans, white people, all of them and their communities are prospering with businesses. You understand? Because of what? Because our protection is gone. Because they're able to get over on us. Why? Because our leaders are weak. They're not telling us and warning us of the danger. They're not protecting us from our enemies. Instead, they're leading our enemies right into the front door. They're leading us to the slaughter, man. And this is why we have brothers and sisters that, like I said, that are committing these sins every day. That's breaking these laws. That's doing all of the things that these other nations, that doing everything the Koreans do, that the Arabs do. I mean, like I said, in Islam, they doing what white society do, in Christianity. And that's why, you know what I mean, that's what we were doing when we was scattered. That's why we was scattered across the earth, right? The four corners of the earth. And that's why Paul, you understand, had to go and write those letters and go to the Gentiles, meaning those brothers and sisters who were following these philosophies and these traditions and customs of our enemies or our oppressors or of the actual non-Israelites. Let me get what you got when you got it out.
Book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 8.
Go ahead.
Israel is swallowed up.
Israel is what?
Swallowed up.
So what does it mean when it says Israel is swallowed up? Israel is swallowed up. Go ahead.
Being devoured by the other nations as far as situation wise.
Give me an example.
Like we being swallowed up. Like if a war break out everybody gonna swallow us because we don't have no protection. We'll get swallowed up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
But does it have to be a war going on for us to be swallowed up? Are we not swallowed up now? Go ahead, Sean.
Israel is no more.
Nah, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah, we're not no more. We're here. We're just swallowed up. So we just okay. So just for it's not tough or anything like that. But just being swallowed up means we're overtaken by heathens. Like we're overtaken by them. Like every like look around you today. When you go into Walmart, what do you see? Pumpkins and everything everywhere. Trick or treat, costumes. You understand? I took my son to the dentist the other day. He got skeletons and spiders and stuff like that, and you know webs, all this Halloween stuff. And they gotta ask my son, "Are you ready for Halloween? What are you gonna be for Halloween?" That's swallowed up, bro. Like we can't go nowhere in this earth or anywhere without their traditions and stuff being forced on us, their heritage and their customs being forced on us. Everywhere we go into the damn, the mall. They got, Christmas time, they're going to have jingle bells and all kind of stuff playing on the intercom. TV commercials. This, Halloween is right around the corner. Scare savings. You know what I mean? We got all these savings, these spooky savings. Go ahead.
Just to add on, Trooper, Kazakh Shapar said, devoured by our oppressor ways.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Right. We are overtaken by all of their ways and everything that they do. Like, I mean, good night. Can I just go somewhere and not be forced to do what you got going on? Does everybody have to celebrate Christmas? Does everybody got to be something for celebrate Halloween and be something for Halloween? Like, this is just a mandatory thing or something? Like, this is just a national thing, huh? And that's exactly what it is. It's a national holiday. And that means what? We're swallowed up.
Right.
Because we're in this nation. So, everywhere you go. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Then you can be that ignorant Negro that's like, oh, well, why don't you just leave the nation then? Leave America. And what? And go to Africa? And then be swallowed up by them, and it's the same thing. Now I gotta go over there, and I gotta dress half naked and stuff like that. I gotta, learn how to be a professional fly swatter and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, excuse my language. You know what I mean? I gotta drink blood or whatever they do in Africa. Whatever Africans do, I gotta see that every day now. You understand? I gotta see that every day. My son gotta see that every day now. I gotta go to the Middle East and now my daughter and my rib, they gotta dress, you know what I mean? Only their eyes showing and stuff. Right. They can't walk outside by themselves. Or they're gonna be interrogated by, what they call Middle Eastern Emirates or whatever they called. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't matter where you go to. Each land you go to is ran by our oppressors. It's ran by heathens or Gentiles. You understand? And that's what happened when we was through that before. That's how we ended up in these places. That's how we ended up in Africa, right? We ended up in Africa fleeing from Roman persecution. You know what I mean? So the Romans wouldn't slaughter us. We got to go out of Israel into Africa to flee Roman persecution. And then what happened when we got to Africa? Still oppressed by the Africans, right? Then what? Even after that, later on, what? Then they had the colonial ages. When the Spaniards and the Portuguese and the Italians, and they just going around just, scooping up humans. You know what I mean? Like we was just livestock or something. Right. Just taking us to South America, taking us to North America, taking us to Europe. That's why we got the Benjamites up there in Europe. So we got Puerto Ricans and the Hispanics down in South America. And where the Negroes at? Up here in North America. That's why we scattered all over the place, man. Like these people are everywhere and they run these lands. And we are swallowed up by them, man. We are swallowed up. Read that again, huh?
Chapter 8 of Hosea, verse 8. Mm-hmm. Israel is swallowed up. Mm-hmm. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel, wherein is no pleasure.
You understand? Like it's no pleasure, man. There's no pleasure in Israel, man. Meaning they hate us, man. They hate us. You understand? They hate us. It's not even a secret. We see it every day, man. I see so many videos of people catching, our oppressors on camera, vocalizing how they feel about us. You black people, this or taking this and doing that, and you're stinging up the place. Your big lips, and you can't go nowhere without seeing y'all black people there. And the Mexicans is wetbacks, and you know what I mean. They're illegal immigrants. Where your papers at? Let me see your paper. Like regular citizens. Regular citizens are asking Mexicans for their papers. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because we are swallowed up, bro. Like we are swallowed up in this place, man. To the point where we even the citizens, they not even in authority, but they are in authority over us. You understand? We swallowed up here, man. And they hate us. You understand? It's like when they're in Flint, Michigan. Like when they had the water. I can say had, because they still got a water problem out there, lead in the water. But our oppressors use that as an opportunity to incarcerate black people. Believe it or not. How did they do it? You want to know how? Like how you see? Look on the brother's face just now. He like, what? Like how in the what? They use that as an opportunity to lock up brothers that were just in a community where there's lead water. Like I don't get how the connection. But the white man, what I mean? These are the nations, our oppressors, man. They want to destroy us utterly destroy us. They want us to be no more. So they got flood, they got lead in our waters. But then what? They come to your house, knock on your door. You understand? They offering what? Services. This is what they was doing. They were offering services to be able to get water and clean water. They just have to be, I'm talking about regular organizations, like not police or government. I'm talking about like just organizations, coming to your house, getting your information so they can give you, clean water. But really what they were doing is trying to find out who had warrants for their arrest. So when they get your information, find out you got a warrant, they turn you over, you get locked up. If you were Mexican, you didn't have your papers, you're getting locked up, you're getting sent away. They really didn't want to help you at all. They really just wanted to see where the criminals is at. They used that as an opportunity. And General Muhammad bought out something from way back when he was like in New York. They had a big Yankees game or something like that, and they sent out tickets to everybody's house. It was like you all invited, and everybody showed up there, and everybody got locked up. Right. Why? Because they really sent out those tickets to everybody who had warrants that they was looking for, that had warrants, and when they came down there, they were really coming to get locked up. They couldn't find them. They can't get them, so they tricked them. You understand? They sent them tickets, baseball tickets. Come to the game. Yankees versus the Mets. It's going to be a big one. They get down there. You got paddy wagons lined up. They getting there. You going in the stadium and getting drove out in the paddy wagon. And that's just how they are, man. We are swallowed up in this place, and they hate us. They hate us, man, so much. You understand? Read that again, Chubashar.
Hosea chapter 8 verse 8. Mm-hmm. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel, wherein is no pleasure. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
For they are gone up into Assyria, a wild ass alone by himself.
You understand? Nonetheless, you understand? That was it on that? On 8? Yeah. Nonetheless, man, like they don't do these things to the Arabs and the Chinese, man. You see what I'm saying? Like we bring out all the time, like Russia got tension with America. You understand? Is there Russians in America? Yes. They got tensions with what, North Korea? Or was it South Korea? One of the Koreas. North Korea, right. They got tensions with North Korea. Is it North Koreans in America? In America, yeah. They've been going, the Arabs bombed the Twin Towers. You know what I mean? They were going to war with, they really at war with the Arabs. Are there Arabs in America? Are any of those people getting shot down by police officers? Are any of those people being deprived of businesses and wealth or their own cities and communities? No, they're not.
They got a mosque.
Right. They got a whole mosque. They got a whole Chinatown. You understand? They got their own China stores everywhere. Chain of China stores. Chain of gas stations. chain of all of those things, man. And they live here and they go to war with them and don't shoot them down. But black people, we fight in the war for our oppressors. We fight in their war against their enemies. But we are really the true enemies that they fight every day. You see what I'm saying? Like they hate us, man. That's what the scripture is saying. They hate us, man. No sweat. Drop that. Let's get Luke chapter 1, verse 71, man. You understand? Because in the New Testament, it prophesied that Christ would save Israel from the hands of our enemies, man. It prophesied that we would get saved from the hands of our enemies and them that hate us, meaning what? The other races or the Gentiles. They hate us. You understand? So we're going to further prove this and show you, you know what I mean, that these people who are the Gentiles that, you know, that the Bible speaks of when it talks about, you know, heathens, are the people that hate us, are exactly that, non-Israelites. But the people that it talks about when it's talking about saving the Gentiles, it's talking about our people who live amongst our enemies, our people who follow after our enemies, who love them and have embraced their doctrine and their philosophies. All right? Let me go ahead and get what you got when you got it.
The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies.
We shall be what?
That we shall be saved from our enemies.
That we should be saved from our enemies, man. You understand? These other nations are our enemies. No matter how many drinks they buy you, no matter how much they smile in your face at the workplace, no matter how cool they are in class, you know what I mean? Don't matter. No matter how good of a joke teller they are, they hate you and they're your enemies. You understand? Learn from all of our ancestors that befriended these heathens or these Gentiles that were stabbed in the back and murdered. You understand? That were infected and poisoned. Learn from them, man. You understand? Learn from the Bible where it says your enemy, you understand, is slicker and smoother than oil.
Right.
You understand? But his words were like drawn swords.
Right.
You understand? Like, learn from the Bible, man. You understand? His words are smoother than butter, but they were drawn swords, man. All right? Read what you got, Op. Luke chapter 1.
Verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies.
Go ahead.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
Go ahead.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
You understand? And that was the promise, man. It was prophesied that would happen. It's going to happen. You understand? Christ is going to return and he's going to slaughter our enemies, man. He's going to slaughter our enemies. You understand? The Gentiles, who are not our people, who will hate us. You know what I mean? These are the people that, you know, like I said, put poison in our water, put smallpox in our blankets, that put steroids in our meats. You see, that's why the brother vegan now. The brother vegan, he don't even want to eat meat no more. Brother don't even want to eat meat no more. Good night. Yeah. Steroids, you know what I mean, hormones and, you know, chemicals, everything genetically modified, man. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? No sweat. But, you know, the Lord's going to put an end to them people, man.
Right.
For our sake, for justice for us, finally, because justice is never going to be served unless a black man from the tribe of Judah named Jesus Christ, who we know is YAHANNA, comes and serves justice for us. It's never going to happen. Till then, it's going to be more Trayvon Martins. It's going to be more Indians stuck on the reservations, right? It's going to be more black people incarcerated unrightfully. You know what I mean? It's going to be more Hispanics being deported, called wetbacks and gang members and criminals and everything else. It's just going to be more of that, man. It's going to be more Travis, Eric Garners and, you know, Kareem Gaines and so many others, man. Countless, man. All right? So go ahead and continue to read.
And to remember his holy covenant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The oath which he swore to our father Abraham.
Right, you understand? That's why I said it was an oath, man. It was an oath made. Let's get Luke chapter 21, verse 24. It was an oath that was made. That the Most High would send his son, YAHANNA, to come back to save us, man. Not the Gentiles. The Gentiles are good. They're the enemies. They the ones that's good and killing us and oppressing us. You know what I mean? So for no reason that any of these people are off the chain, are off the hook. Not the Chinese, not the Arabs. They all had us in captivity. We were in captivity under the Chinese. We were under captivity under the Africans in Egypt. We was under captivity in Babylon, under the Babylonians. You know what I mean? We was under all of them. Every single one of them had a hand in us being captive, or either had us absolutely captive. You understand? All the way to the slave trade, to the transatlantic slave trade. Go ahead.
Luke 21, 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
They shall fall by the edge of the sword. You understand? That's exactly what happened, man. We fell, right? We fell by the edge of the sword. The Romans, right? The Romans murdered us by the sword, right? They did. Like I said, we fled out of Israel, fleeing from Roman persecution. They were slaughtering millions of Jews. You understand? Killing them. We had to move into Africa. We had to flee into Africa. Fleeing Roman persecution, man. And we were taken as slaves into all nations. And once we got thrusted out of our homeland, what have happened? We ended up in the Africans' homeland. We ended up in the white man's homeland. All over this earth, like everywhere. You understand? Now we here in America, South America, like I said, we all over the place. Throughout the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
And they shall be led away captives into all nations.
Right, and we should, like I said, we be led away captives into all nations, man. We under the white people. We under the Babylonians. We be under the Egyptians, under the Africans, under the East Indians, under the Chinese. Like we everywhere we go, man. They all had us in captivity, and they all had a part in the transatlantic slave trade. They all did. The transatlantic slave trade was a global event, a global event, and that's when we talked about in Psalms 83, where it says they have lifted up the head. You understand? They have taken crafty counsel. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and Ammon and Assur also is joined with them. That's what they was planning. They was planning all of that. The persecution, the transatlantic slave trade, all of the things, slavery in America, all that was planned. They had, just like right now today, you know about gentrification, right? Gentrification. So they always have meetings, council meetings, where they discuss plans that they're going to do, places where they're going to build stuff and have wealth and have, shopping, which most of the time is in your community. They're going to tear down your places or move you out, but they make these plans 10 years in advance. You understand? They talk about this and it happens 10 years down the line. They work on it. You know what I mean? It's talked about way in advance. And that's what happened, man. All of this stuff that we going through, from the transatlantic slave all the way to now, even with child abortion and all that stuff, was stuff that was premeditated and pre-planned years ago, man. All by the Chinese, by the Arabs, by the white man, by, like it said, like what it said in Psalms 83. Ammon, Hagar, Moab, Edom, the Philistines, and all of them. They were all on this, man. And it does it not show? Because look how who's oppressed in this earth. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You understand? Even though they go to war with one another, they don't oppress one another. That's why you can still have Korean markets in America. There's Chinese markets. They bomb China and Hiroshima and Nagasaki with nuclear bombs. Right. You understand? Right. But they still able to have Chinatowns and still having to have Japanese and restaurants and businesses, Arabs, and they killed 3 million Arabs in the war in the Middle East, the war on terror, and they got gas stations, everything. They still got a plot in their land because they are in business together with one common interest. Like it says, they are confederate against thee. Right. You understand? Read.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Of the who?
of the Gentiles.
Right, you understand? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the who?
The Gentiles.
Of the Gentiles. And like I said, it all goes back around again. This is who the Gentiles are. This is what a Gentile is. It's everybody that's not an Israelite. You understand? But to make it more clear for you, there are brothers and sisters that follow after the Gentiles, that follow after T.D. Jakes. You understand? Who our leaders who follow after the Gentiles, who lead millions of us into the lifestyles of the Gentiles. You understand? And because of that, we end up in captivity. We end up in slavery. We end up on slave ships. We end up on child support. We end up incarcerated. We end up in court every day. You know what I mean? Court cases all the damn time. Always a black man in court, man. You understand? We end up in Mexico and Brazil and Cuba and Barbados. You know what I mean? All scattered everywhere. Speaking another man's language. Spending another man's money. Living in another man's house. You know what I mean? How much stuff do we lease every day? How much stuff do we actually own? Nothing. You understand? And this is why, man. But it says that it's Jerusalem shall be trodden down. That's what happened, man. They took over. That's why it's another man in Israel right now. You understand? The Israelis. You know what I mean? They in Israel. While we over here in America in Marcy Projects. You understand? In the plantation apartments. You know what I mean? The plantations. You know what I mean?
You hear the name, right? You hear the name, right?
Right, in the plantations. We out here like gladiators fighting in these arenas, UFC and the football arenas, making them money while they look at us and all our strong capabilities sitting up in the skybox. You know what I mean? Looking down at us, perform all of these extraneous exercises.
Entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining them with these strenuous exercises. Brothers getting brain concussions and, you know what I mean, dying on the field, in the ring. You know what I mean? Look at Muhammad Ali. How he looked, how he turned out, man. Fighting for our oppressor, man, those rings. You know what I mean? This is what happens, man. Like Jerusalem is trodden down by the Gentiles, by our oppressors, by these other nations, man. Read that from the top again, man.
Yeah. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
You understand? And that's what. Go ahead. No, there's more than that.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Right. You understand? And we already know what that is. That's talking about that time that we would be in captivity. All right? Okay. And their time is going to be fulfilled when what? When we come back to these law, statutes, and commandments and get what? And bring YAHANNA back and get everlasting salvation. You see what I'm saying? Everlasting salvation. But for right now, our homeland is what? Tore down. You understand? Like the Gentiles, meaning what? The other races. Now they live in our homeland. You know what I mean? They live in Israel. They the ones, you know, on in our homeland. You understand? Calling themselves the Jews. See what I'm saying? They done took our names and everything. They done took our name. Man. They call themselves Jews. Let me get Revelations 2 and 9. They call themselves Jews. You want to say something real quick, Art?
Yeah, I just want to add a little comment. I be breaking it down.
Go ahead.
Because I be reminiscing and all kind of stuff be coming, as you be saying, all kind of stuff is from the reality and what goes on around me and whatnot. Like how you were saying, like we be renting stuff. The deers beat up on my car. I got a rental car right now as we speak. And when you were saying how they call themselves Israelis. And so yeah, I got into like a little, how I call it, hurting somebody's feelings. It's like I said, yeah. They call themselves Israelis, but you gotta look at the word. Don't look at the word. Right. I just say, rally. That word rally is rally. That means like he just laying to it. Like you gotta pay attention to that when you start, talking about them the Jews. Them ain't no Jews. Right. So I try to do a little This when I always knew that from younger, from when I was younger. I used to listen to the videos.
Right.
I used to listen to the videos before I took the step and try to
come into class and
to the fold.
do your troopership. Right. Yeah, man. Well, you in the right place now, brother. Get a brother a hand. Yeah, you in the right place now, brother. You understand? Bear with us. We're going to bear with you, brother. You know what I mean? It's real life, like you said. It's real life stuff we talking about. It's going on. You know what I mean? We priests and prophets in the Israelite school. You know what I mean? In the UPK. But that don't mean that it ain't a struggle. You know what I mean? It's still a struggle. We a black man like you. You know what I mean? We just trying to make things a little bit better for each one of us. You know what I mean? We got work. We in no captivity. We slaving. We raising families. Same old. You know what I mean? But we gonna come here. We gonna get you right. Get you raised up. You know what I mean? Get you a Hebrew name, and then what? You can take up some of this burden. We can eventually build a nation to where we can sustain our own self.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can sustain our own self and never have to go to these other nations for nothing. You understand? Have our own communities and own it all, and land, schools, vans, and food programs and everything. You understand? This is the start of it all. You know what I'm saying? So you in the right place, you know what I'm saying? Stand strong in here. You know what I mean? Do your troopership, your 90 days strong. Get your Hebrew name. You in all black already. That's just it. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get our name back. We're gonna get our authority back. Our land, our homeland back. We're going to get all of that back, man. But like you said, like you was telling them other people, listen to the name, Jewish. You understand? You call yourselves Jewish, means you like a Jew. Ish is a what? A suffix, right? We went to English class. Right. Ish is a suffix. It comes at the end of a word, and it is used to define something that pertains to, means it pertains to something. So ish or Jewish means it pertains to a Jew, or it's like a Jew. Go ahead.
Like I was at the slave the other day, and it was a Spanish girl. So I walked up to her, and I asked her what nationality was.
Mira, ven aquí, tú estás bien, ¿tú quieres?
She said she was
Spanish, ain't it?
Spanish. I said, where did ish come from? She said, well, we're not really from there, but we somewhat.
Right, she already knew.
I said, I already know what you're talking about. I already know what it is. I ain't even gonna say no more about it. You think on that though?
So let that sizzle on your spirit.
I like that though. I like that.
Yeah, real talk, because they were colonized by the Spaniards, right, from Spain. So they Spanish, you understand? Like it's right, Jewish. But like I said, because Jerusalem was trodden down by the Gentiles, they've taken our homeland and they've taken our names. You understand? Read what you got.
COMCAST, the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works.
This is Christ speaking. He said what?
He said, I know thy works.
I know thy works. You understand? I know what you're doing, what you're producing, your skills and your talents. You understand? And your inventions and creations and engineering. I know your works. Go ahead.
And tribulations.
And your tribulations. Like all of the stress and all of the struggle that you go through. Everything that the suffering, right? He said, I know the suffering that you're going through. Go ahead.
And poverty.
And poverty, man. The real Jews are in poverty. You understand? The real Israelites are in poverty. That's what we are. This is what it's saying, right? It's saying, I know thy poverty. Is the Israelis in poverty? Is the Jewish in poverty? No, they're not in poverty. They're not. So they're not. They can't be the real Jews. Are they mourning? Like it said in Jeremiah 14:2. Are they mourning? No, they're not. You understand? But they've taken our homeland and they've taken our identity. And this is why Christ said this. Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Why are we rich? Who can tell me why does it say we are rich? You understand? Even it says it says, I know thy works and thy tribulations and thy poverty, but thou art rich. What does it mean when he says thou art rich? Yeah, give it to me.
It's a lot if I'm wrong, because we are the ones that got the promise. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. The law, statutes, and commandments. Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. Anybody else want to add on to it? Anybody wants to say something different?
Well, piggyback off what my brother said. We are rich, I guess, in this sense, because we have the laws, statutes, commandments, and if we follow, we'll have the blessings.
That's right. We have the inheritance.
Inheritance.
You understand? Inheritance of ruling the earth.
The promise.
Having the kingdom of heaven. We're rich because of our abilities, our skills. You understand? Like, think about that. Like, our skills, our talents. You know what I mean? Our thinking, our culture, like how we able to make that food the way we do. Like, every culture, every other nation want to take it. They take our recipes. Like, you think we wasn't the first ones using the curry like that? Like, you understand? Curry and the goat, jerking the oxtails, like jerking the chicken. You think, come on, man, that the East Indians come around with the curry and no, man, come on, man. You understand? Come on, we was jerking that chicken thousands of years ago, man. We was currying that goat thousands of years ago, man. Like, you know what I mean? We are rich in ability and skill and talent. You understand? But like, most importantly, like I said, we are rich because of our promise, the promises that was given to us. Being God's chosen people, man. That's a very worthy thing. It's a very valuable thing. You understand? More so than any amount of money or jewels or ownership on the earth. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Trooper Kazak Shapar said the words, the scriptures, we are the chosen.
That's right. We are the chosen. That's correct. That's what I just said. So he's right. You understand? We're God's chosen people, and I'd rather be that than anything rich in this earth.
Right.
Like, I made a status the other day. I said I'd rather serve in heaven than to rule in hell.
Right.
You understand? Because in heaven, I'm going to have what? The most high power as my protection. You understand? My guidance. You know, my strength, all of those things. And ruling in hell, you know, I have money. I have carnal things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Things that are carnal and vain and imperishable. You know what I mean? So, you know, that stuff is nothing compared to everlasting salvation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Compared to the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean? So no sweat. So but like I said, you know what I mean, because we were trodden down and our homeland was taken, we don't know about our inheritance. We don't even know our name until to the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? 1969. All right? Go ahead.
I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say that they are Jews.
Them that say they are Jews, right? Like these other nations, if you ask somebody who's the Jews today, they're going to tell you that that white man in Israel is the Jew. The white man with the curly sideburns and the top hat or the long trench coat. That's what they're going to say the Jews is. They're going to say that because that's all we knew the Jews to be. It's them, the synagogues, right? Judaism. But I know them that say they are Jews. But, go ahead.
But they are not.
They are not, though. They're not. And this is why the Most High wrote this. Because he knew, this is why the Most High, had this said, through Christ. Because he knew that it would be a day where the Gentiles or the heathens would overtake us. You understand? And then what? Our gates will be sunken into the ground, and our homeland will be trodden, and our name will be taken, and all of that. And that what? That our enemies or our oppressors or the Gentiles will call themselves after our name. And he said they call themselves Jews. I know them that call themselves Jews, but they are not. Go ahead.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the what?
Are the synagogue of Satan.
You understand? Are the synagogue of Satan. Any more on that?
Verse 10.
No sweat. You can just leave it right there. I don't want to get too deep in that. Okay. But, you understand? But no sweat. I just wanted to show that. To show when we just read that in Luke chapter 21, verse 24, where it was talking about, the heathens, the Gentiles are going to be trodden down Jerusalem. That's what happened. They've invaded our homeland and took over it and took over our name and everything. You know what I mean? And that's why we know them as the Jews today. This is real. This is not no fictional book. Like, this ain't no fairy tale. Like, we're reading out of the Bible right now. You understand? Like, people hear this class and they hearing all this history and all, but they gotta hone in on the fact that we reading this out of the Bible.
Right.
You understand? They gotta hone in to the fact that this is coming from the Bible. The same book that you thought was just a book about stories. And, Mary had a little lamb, whose fleece was white as snow. And, whatever all them stories, Noah's Ark. You know what I mean? And 2 of every animal and all of the stories. You know what I mean? Like Samson and his hair. Like this is more than that. You understand? This is more than that, man. This is about a people who God chose, who are real people in the earth, and their history, and their relationship with every other nation in the earth, and how that they're the enemies to those people, and it's all through history, and it's been happening. You know, all that we can have a whole history. We can have one of the greatest history lessons ever taught out of that Bible, more so than any university, a college, professor, historian ever could do in the world, ever. You know what I mean? The real historians are here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. The real scholars are here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Right. I'm telling you, I done learned so much being in the I.S.U.P.K, brother. Right. Oh, my goodness. You understand? Good night. I done learned so much being in the I.S.U.P.K for these few years I've been here, man, and nobody outside of here can tell me nothing. Right. You understand? And I've been in battles. You see the debates we get in the school. We're undefeated. Right. We're undefeated. You know what I mean? Undefeated, man. You know, I came up under Captain Tazariot. You know what I mean? 2013, 2014, he's battling Kemet, battling Egyptologists, battling this person. And just, I'm like a young trooper, you know what I mean? Looking like, you know what I mean? Like how y'all brothers looking right now, like supportive, like, yeah, I'm with him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I feel that.
That video of you with Trooper Double Die, I don't know if y'all ever seen it, man, but y'all should definitely go back and watch that, man, because, man, like me, you know what I'm saying, Officer Double Die, I could never imagine him being a trooper, but, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, I mean, like, that just shows you know what I'm saying, the rank and order and the structure that we have in the school, man, right. So I definitely encourage y'all, man, to go back and watch that video, man, of Trooper Double Die. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about when I was with Captain Tazariot? Yeah, we was reading, it was like the dumb stone. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was cutting that man up, bro. I was like, he had one brother with the Bible over here, and then I had the Bible. He had another brother with a book. I forgot what book it was. I don't know if it was Into Egypt Again or one of the books. He had him reading a passage out of there where it was talking about that, you know, Islam was going to lead us to the dumb stone. Right. The dumb stone. You understand? But then in the Bible it says, what did it say? Do
not worship wood.
Nah, it's another scripture. Oh. But he's going back and forth, and I was like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like it's crazy, like how this is going together right now. Like this is the dumb stone that the Bible is talking about. Right. It's talking about Islam. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just right there as a trooper being taught at the same time while we blazing on somebody. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful experience. These brothers in here in the I.S.U.P.K are the real biblical scholars, man. The real historians, the real scholars, man. Go ahead.
It's Habakkuk.
What is it? What is it? Read it right quick. Shalom. This is what going on. Go ahead.
Chapter 2 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
It says, woe unto them that said to the wood, awake to the dumb stone.
Yeah, to the dumb stone, right? Awake to the dumb stone. And it's talking about Israel. I mean, it's talking about Islam. Right. You understand? And it's talking about what? How brothers is going from, Christianity and going to Islam and this all over the place. Now brothers is about to go from Islam to Christianity. Right. Because Farrakhan said Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Like, listen, y'all all be quiet. Everybody just Shemai. Shemai. You understand? Shemai. Go ahead.
And then I look at UPK videos and in 2006 the UPK said Farrakhan was a Christian. Yeah. The crescent moon and the star. Yep. All of them got that same uniform.
Yep. You're right. And it's the truth. Islam is because listen, this is how I got it all in a nutshell. You understand? Right. Islam was founded by Muhammad, right? And Muhammad said he was visited by an angel named Gabriel. He's visited by the angel Gabriel, and Gabriel told Muhammad that he would be the last prophet and he would create a new religion. You got what I want more, doggy? No, he over there. I thought he was on it. I thought he was on it, boy.
Responding to
Okay. Let's get Galatians chapter 1 verse 8. Galatians chapter 1 verse 8. You understand? This is how I crush Islam all day. With just this simple scripture right here, because I know through the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander YAHANNA how Islam originated. I know the history of Islam and how it originated. Muhammad was visited by an angel, and the angel told him, he said the angel name was Gabriel. You can go look it online. You can go Google it. Go Google it. The origin of Islam.
Right.
Go Google it.
Galatians 8.
1 and 8.
I got it.
Go ahead.
The book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 8.
Go ahead. Hold on real quick. So let me just hone in on it all together. So Muhammad said he was visited by an angel. And the angel name was Gabriel. Gabriel is an angel of the Lord. First of all, you understand? Gabriel. We all know about Michael, Gabriel. You understand? The angels. He said he was visited by Gabriel. Why? Because there was nothing else important or relevant in the earth besides the Bible or God or his chosen people. All throughout the earth, everybody wanted to be like the Israelites. Everybody envied the Israelites. Everybody was like, man, look how faithful they are to their God. Look how clean they are. Look how beautiful. You reading the story in Judith. I think it's in Judith what we read before. We're talking about the Israelite woman that was so beautiful that the other nation, the heathens, was like, right. How can anybody despise a nation like this with women so beautiful? How can anybody make war with them? See what I'm saying? Like, we were just such a beautiful and clean and orderly people. So, of course, Gabriel was a good idea for him to use to create this fake religion, because that's what he said Gabriel told him. That Gabriel the angel told him that he was going to be the last prophet. He was going to create a new religion. And that's what Islam was. Islam was the new religion, and he was the prophet Muhammad. And he created Islam, and that's what we have today. Now it's branch off, 5%ers, and the black Muslims, and this Muslims, and this all stems from a lie. Because why? Because Galatians 1 and 8 says so. Go ahead.
But thou, we, or an angel from heaven.
So they're saying thou, we. So though we, right? Saying, but though we, meaning the priests and the prophets, right? But though we, the priests and the prophets, or an angel, go ahead. From heaven. Mm-hmm.
Preach any other gospel.
Preach what?
Preach any other gospel.
Go ahead.
Unto you. Than that which we have preached unto you.
Then we have. So if any priest or prophet or an angel teach to you anything other than what God gave us or what's in this Bible, go ahead.
Let him be accursed.
Let him be accursed.
That's what it is.
Let him be accursed. So, no, ain't Gabriel is no fool.
Right.
You understand? Priests and the prophets, even Solomon knew he shouldn't have slept with strange women.
Right.
And he taught that he should not sleep with strange women, but still did so. You understand? But he didn't teach anything. He didn't teach you that you could sleep with her. He taught through his actions, but he didn't come in class and, teach you against God, what God didn't say. You know what I mean? Same thing with any you know what I mean? Like Adam. Adam knew the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The laws was what he had, but he still sinned against the Lord, right? Nonetheless, any priest or prophet teach you something other than what this Bible is saying, any angel will teach you something other than what this Bible is saying, let him be accursed, because this is the only thing that's going to be taught by the angels and the prophets of the Lord, man. Mm-hmm. So that angel Gabriel did not come to him and did not tell him about being no prophet, did not tell him about no new religion. Why? Because that is something different than the gospel that was taught unto them that was taught by the angels or the priests and prophets. Let them be accursed. And that just throws Islam in the trash can.
Right.
You understand? In the trash can. The Quran, toilet paper. You know what I mean? All right, let's get back on topic, man. No sweat. Let me get in that Maccabees. 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. I got a couple more scriptures, boy. Good night. I done took too much time, boy. No sweat. Yeah, we got to get through them because I want to get these scriptures. This the meat of it right here. And get into them about them Gentiles. You understand? Let's get that. Let's get that. And somebody else, let me get Isaiah 54:3. Brother Tim, let's get Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 54:3. And yep, you got 2 Maccabees. 2 Maccabees 6:6. Trooper Shar. Brother Tim, Isaiah 54:3. Mardaki, let me get Leviticus 25:44. All right.
2 Maccabees.
Go ahead.
2 Maccabees 6:6.
Go ahead. 6 and 1.
Oh, Salat.
I want you to read 1 and then go to 6 after that.
Gotcha.
No sweat.
2 Maccabees 6 and 1.
Right?
Not long after the king sent an old man to Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Right, you understand? And this will happen. This was during the time of the Greeks. This was during the time of the Greek Empire, where the king sent an old man to Athens, because we was all through Greek, you know what I mean? Through Greece. Just like we was all through Rome and we was all through America. He sent a man out there to do what? To compel the Jews to sin against God. And that's what they do here in America. They got Crypto Dollar to come and compel us to do against the Lord. They got TD Jakes to come out and compel us to do against the Lord. They got Kanye West to come out and compel us to do what's against the Lord. They got who else? Martin Luther King to come out and compel us to do what's against the Lord. Jesse Jackson, Creflo Dollar, the names go on and on and on. All the Prince, Farrakhan, you understand? All the princes and the kings of Israel, man. You understand? Don't leave Farrakhan out. You understand? Go ahead.
And not to live after the laws of Yahweh.
Why? Because the laws of Yahweh is what's going to bring us back into rulership. So as long as they compel us to do what's against the Lord, they'll keep us out of rulership and keep them in rulership over us, man. So that's why they want to compel us. That's why they push Halloween. That's why they push Christmas in such a great way. It's for the kids. It's presents. It's it's candy. And no, it's demonic. It's satanic. It's unlawful. The Lord hates it and he despises it. You understand? And you should teach your kids that. All right? Teach them to say the same thing. Right. You know what I mean? When somebody pushing that on them, we don't celebrate these holidays. It's demonic. It's satanic. Right. The Lord hates Halloween. Right. The Lord hates Christmas. So on and so forth. Let me get 6. Verse 6. No sweat. No sweat. You understand? Like what we reading right now, like I said, it's during the Greek captivity. You know what I mean? Go ahead, read it.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Okay, you understand? And we couldn't even call ourselves Jews. You understand? That was the same thing during slavery in America. There were black people that knew we were Israelites. That would read in the Bible and knew we were Israelites from their family and word of mouth. You know what I mean? But when they got caught telling each other they were Israelites, we were killed, or we had our tongue cut out of our mouths. But this time during the Greek Empire, they were setting laws to where if any man talks and calls himself a Jew, he would be murdered. You understand? Because that's how powerful it is to be an Israelite, man. These other nations know who you are, and they hate you, and they smile in your face, and they laugh with you and play with you and give you gifts because they know because that's crafty counsel, first of all. That's crafty, you understand? Like we brought out one class before, that's crafty counsel. So they're tricking you, thinking that they're nice people, when really they're just nice because they don't want you to know that they're the enemy. They have you in captivity, that you're beneath them. You understand? As long as you don't know who you are. All right? So that's why he's saying, he told them that they set forth laws where they couldn't even call themselves Jews. You know what I mean? Just like right now, the same way the Cherokee and the Sioux, right, and the Seminole Indians, you understand, in slavery, they call themselves Americans. You see what I'm saying? Just like the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas. Now they call themselves Mexicans, right? They call themselves the Puerto Ricans, right? All of them, like all of us to come from these different lands. And all of us are different tribes, and we come to these lands and colonized by Spain, by the Latinos, and we for that reason we call ourselves Latin, or we call ourselves Puerto Rican or Dominican or Haitian, because that's what they don't want us to call ourselves by our name. We got to call ourselves Mac and Jones, you understand, Thompson and Johnson. You see what I'm saying? That's what we got to call ourselves, because because they don't want us to call our names. So they say they set up laws that permitted you from kept you from calling yourself who you are, a Jew, a Judite, a Benjamite, or whatever the case, whatever tribe we come from. You understand? Okay. All right, drop that. Let me get Isaiah real quick.
Isaiah 54, verse 3. Verse 3. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left hand, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles.
And that what? And thy seed shall do what?
And thou seed shall inherit the Gentiles,
right?
And make the desolate cities to be inhabitable.
Right, inhabitable, right? So, and it's going to soon come, because even though we're following all of these philosophies of these other nations, and we're living in their doctrines, the Lord is going to avenge us, man. We're lost and destroyed here. We celebrating all of this craziness, talking about putting rings on the fingers. Sisters want rings on their fingers, and then be walked down the aisle, and they'll turn down a good man, because he can't do that, because he don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because he can't afford to buy some big diamond ring and a big ceremony walk, and they'll throw a whole good man away. They're living under the philosophies of America, man. You understand? Living under the lies, tearing up families. That's what it's doing. We're destroying. The Lord is going to avenge us, man. And then when he avenges us, what does it say? Read it again, one more time. Let's get it.
For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left hand.
That's right.
And thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be uninhabitable.
Right. That's what's going to happen. Our children, we're going to inherit the Gentiles, meaning they're going to be our slaves. They're going to be our captives, like it talks about in Isaiah. You know what I mean? In another chapter in Isaiah, chapter 14, right? It says they're going to be captives whose captives they were. You know what I mean? They're going to be we're going to inherit the Gentiles. So how can we inherit the Gentiles if God said if they're saying in the Christian church that the Gentiles can be saved? You understand? It doesn't make sense. We're going to inherit the Gentiles, God's chosen people, the people who will be saved. That's how we're going to be saved. We're going to be saved from the Gentiles. We're going to be saved from the Gentiles. We're going to inherit the Gentiles. And those of our people who follow their philosophies and their customs and traditions are going to either be destroyed with them or going to be saved from them, like every brother and sister in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. All right, read. No sign now. No, damn right. Clap it up. Clap it up. No sign Christ. Clap it up, man. Continue up. Any more on that? No. All right.
Yeah, that was the end of the verse.
All right, no sweat. Mardaki, you know what I want, man. So let me do before I end it. When I say when you inherit the Gentiles, it also says in the ruins will be inhabitable. Like all of these places, like when in the time when they took over Jerusalem and they took over America from the Native Indians, they in the lands of Puerto Rico, they took all the wealth too. All of the resources, the minerals, the gold, the jewels, everything. It's going to be different. It's going to be the same. We're going to conquer the lands. We're going to all of the wars that they about to have. World War III is going to leave this place desolate, and we're going to make it inhabitable again. Because why? Because we the ones that built it up this great in the first place. So we're going to build it up and make it inhabitable, man. We're going to have all the jewels and everything that the earth has to offer. All right. No sweat. Go ahead and read what you got.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 43.
You understand? So hold on. Okay, and just to make it clear, it says we're going to inhabit Gentiles, right? Everybody knows that so this is showing that the Gentiles are heathens, right? How do we know this is showing that the Gentiles are heathens? Because non-Israelites, there's a law against having Israelites as slaves. You can't Israelites can't enslave one another. You see what I'm saying? We can't have Israelites as servants, you understand? Or slaves, I should say. All right? So this is when it says read it again, it says read it again, Baba Kushan.
You said Leviticus 23 and verse 40.
No, 25 and 44. But real quick, read what you had again.
For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left hand, and thy seeds shall inherit the Gentiles.
Right, meaning we're going to possess them as a possession. That's slavery. We're a possession of America right now. So I've got birth certificates and social security numbers and all that stuff. We're property. You know what I mean? Like we're property, but you can't have a black man as property. You understand? You can have a Gentile or a heathen as property, but there's laws against black men or Israelites having Israelites as property. You understand? So this is talking about non-Israelites. And this fact that they're not going to be the ones that the Most High is going to be saving. You understand? Drop that. Give me Leviticus 25 and 44.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 44.
Good.
Both thou bound men and the bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen.
Shall be of the who?
Shall be of the heathen.
Shall be of the heathen. You understand? That's why our slave men and slave women are going to be. They're going to be heathens. So how are they going to be saved? We're talking about the kingdom of heaven. We're talking about when Christ returns, when we're in rulership. How is it the Gentiles can be saved if it's saying that the heathens are going to be bondmen and bondwomen? Right? Go ahead.
That are round about you, of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Damn right. Go ahead.
Verse 45.
So the heathen and their families will be your possessions. You understand? Go ahead. Because you're going to buy them, of course. You understand?
Like they did us.
Right. Go ahead.
Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that ye are with, Shalaye, of their families that are with you, which they begot in their land, and they shall be your possession.
You understand? And that's what it's saying. They're going to be your possession. You understand? Like, this is talking about heathens or people that are non-Israelites. Their families, as long as you've paid for them, they are your possession. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like brother just said, like they did us. They possessed us. They paid for us and they possessed us. Go. You on verse 46?
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children.
For your children, right? We're going to pass them down to your children. And they're going to pass them down to their children. And they're going to, just like they did us, right? They did us the same way. They passed us down to the little Johnson Jr., you understand? And Mac Jr., Jr. And we call ourselves such and such Mac and such Johnson and such Jones. We still got the names of our slave masters, and they rule over us still to this day, 400 years later. There's no plantations, no whips and chains, but we're still possessions though. We still have their names. We're still bound by their laws, by their customs and their traditions and their holidays that we got to see everywhere we go. And that's just what it is, all right? So the difference is going to be them being bought and paid for and being passed down to our kids. Go ahead.
After you to inherit them for your possession. They shall be your bondmen forever, but over your brethren, the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
Ye should not rule one over another with rigor.
Rigor.
Yeah,
rigor, which means, you understand, if you look up the word rigor, it's just like a strict, type of, extreme, like extreme and thorough way of ruling, like
fist.
Right. That's great, like an iron fist, like not with your brothers and sisters, you will not do that, but with the heathen, you can do that. You understand? You can rule over them. You understand? It's legal for you to do that to the heathens, to the Gentiles. You understand? You can do that to the Gentiles. You can rule over them thoroughly and strictly and extremely. You understand? Like you going to cut your grass with your teeth. You understand? You're going to cut my grass with your teeth, and if you don't do it, you're going to have to do this, and you're going to be punished this way and that way. You understand? No sweat. All right? But we're going to end the class. We got to end the class. I swear I wish I can get through. No sweat. All right? No sweat. Anybody got any questions at all? All right, Most High in Christ. Any questions online?
Live, sir.
Any comments online?
Live.
All right, so everybody understands, like, this shows the difference between Gentiles and Israelites. People get mixed up because it talks about Paul going to the Gentiles. But Gentiles, like we read in the Zondervan, usually means non-Israelites. But if it does, and if it is talking about an Israelite, it's talking about Israelites who follow after the philosophies and the traditions of heathens. You understand? They can be saved. They can be saved. You understand? Those Gentiles can be saved. Those of our people who are in the Christian church, who are in the Muslim mosque, they can be saved. Why? Why can they be saved?
Because they Israelites.
That's right. That's correct.
And it's only for Israelites.
That's correct. Because they're Israelites. All right, with that, we're the I.S.U.P.K. We started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commander General YAHANNA, established in 1969. We're absolutely not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Teach the truth according to the Bible. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. And the Gentiles are everybody that's non-Israelites. They are the heathens that the Bible speaks of, man. And with that, shalom.